Welcome to Raya's Power International. Today I'd like to introduce the young lifters out there to a man who has passed away, but back in the 80s he was considered probably the world's greatest bench presser. His name was Mike MacDonald. Mac, M-A-C they called him. The Iron Bumblebee. Mike MacDonald was one of the greatest raw bench pressers of all time. In 1977, he set an official bench press record of 603 pounds in the 242-pound weight class. It's taken 29 years for someone to break that record. Now, if you knew Mike, just judging by his appearance, you would not think that he was a power lifter at all. He was small framed and he didn't carry a lot of muscle. Now, Marty Gallagher was a columnist for a magazine called Powerlifting USA magazine. It was our magazine. It was a grassroots magazine. It was a monthly magazine that carried the results of every powerlifting meet in the country. It was great. Doesn't exist anymore. But Marty Gallagher wrote an article about Mike MacDonald, and in it he said, Mac, like John Cook, defied strength reality. He was an iron bumblebee, in that physicists have determined with great certainty that from a structural and engineering standpoint, the bumblebee is physically incapable of flight, or should be, based upon intense analysis and factoring in all the known laws of aerodynamics and thermodynamics. Yet fly the portly bumblebee does, defying science and logic and seemingly in defiance of nature herself. So that'll give you an idea of how much of an unlikely powerlifter Mike MacDonald was. Now, not only was Mike's physical structure just the opposite of what one would expect for a world-class bench presser, his routine defied all the accepted training methods of the time. He maxed out 3 times per week, and his assistant's work only consisted of 3 exercises. First, he performed what we call partial barbell lockouts. Next, he bench pressed with a cambered bar. It was a bar that was shaped like this, so that when you came down to the chest, it was like actually using dumbbells, but you even got it even lower yet. It was very dangerous. Actually, it was a shoulder wrecker, yet he was a great bench presser, and people felt that that's how he did it, so he sold a lot of those bars. Then he also used an exercise, which I think he invented, a standing overhead triceps behind the head press out of the power rack. So he was actually using a straight bar like this behind his head while seated in the power rack. Now, Mike attributed his ability to max out 3 times per week to the fact that he performed very little assistance work. If he felt sore prior to a workout in the least bit, he canceled the workout. So he was aware that recovery was necessary, and he was very methodical about it. Now, what was just as revolutionary about Mike's Cambered Bar design was his practice of adding 2 pounds of body weight per week to coincide with the increases in the weight that he bench pressed. Now, he believed that the most effective way to build quality body weight was to start this mass building phase coming right out of a lean out phase. So that's how he did that. Now, let's take a look at Mike's actual 5-day bench press peak routine, and when we do that, we want to take a look at how he increases his body weight each week along with his bench press weight. This is Mike MacDonald's 5-week bench press peak routine. Mike used more than one routine throughout the year, but prior to a competition he would use this peak routine. Now, Mike actually competed in 5 different weight classes. The first weight class that he ever competed in was the 181-pound weight class. So, prior to starting this routine, Mike could already bench press 300 pounds and he weighed 170 pounds. Week 1, Mike would bench press 280 pounds for a single and add 2 pounds to his body weight. Week 2, Mike would add 15 pounds to his single and add 2 more pounds to his body weight. Week 3, Mike again would add 15 pounds to his single and 2 more pounds to his body weight. In week 4, he would do the same thing, add another 15 pounds to his single on the bench press and 2 more pounds to his body weight. At this point, he weighed 178 pounds. Week 5 was the week prior to the meet that Mike would actually take off and just rest. Yet he would add 2 more pounds to his body weight so that he weighed 180 pounds. Mike would have a 1 pound cushion prior to going to the competition. Now meet day, Mike's attempts were 300 pounds, which he could bench press prior to even beginning the routine. His second attempt was 320 pounds, which was 5 pounds less than he actually benched during the routine. And then Mike would go full bore. He would add 15 pounds from his second attempt to his third attempt. He would bench press 335 pounds on his third attempt. Now what's unique about this routine is that today we try to lose weight while we're running a routine prior to a competition. We want to qualify for that lowest weight class that we can, so we have a better chance of winning Best Lifter trophy. Yet Mike did just the opposite. He added weight to his bench press each week and weight to his body each week, and that's what gave him the edge. He could actually add tremendous poundages throughout his career by practicing this type of routine. I've never heard of anybody doing this before, but if you look at Mike's career, he was very successful with it. And again, he would take a lot of pressure off the lifter himself because he's not trying to cut weight all the time.
So I can remember back at Central Illinois Weightlifting Gym in Peoria, Illinois, back in the 80s, owner Bob Rosa thought that Mike MacDonald was the cat's meow. He was the one to be admired. He was the one to style your lifting routine after, at least your bench press routine. But you know, Mike was one of those rare, very rare individuals who could combine great leverage, superior tendon ligament strength, and instinctive training methods to set world records. One can only wonder when powerlifting might see the likes of Mike MacDonald again.